everyone, it's Mr. Gerald Lord here, and I know you missed me because it's been a while since I've done a recording on this, but you guys sent some questions in, and I wanted to cover them. And I actually have a special guest with me today. Please welcome, back to the show in a while, Mr. Crooklyn Banks.
Corn Pop. He's an evil dude. Hey everyone, how are you?
And as usual, we have to go with the intro that already is probably gonna get some people riled up. Okay, so let's get to some questions here, and I guess we'll start off with one that was actually directed at me because of my prediction from the end of the year recording we did.
Oh man, how many of those did you get right again?
We haven't found out yet. I got one wrong so far out of the three.
Oh,
so
just one. Good. Just one?
Yes, I made 3 predictions and one of them was wrong.
Okay. Only one. Wow.
So far. The other 2 were related to the election, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay.
But okay.
Well,
so,
if one of them is wrong, wouldn't all of them just be wrong because you got the first one wrong?
No, they aren't related to each other per se.
Oh, okay.
But anyway, question. This one is about the Democratic primary. What are your thoughts on Bernie losing the primary?
Ha! Ha ha ha! Ha ha!
Yes, I've got some egg on my face on that one.
Do I have to play Celine Dion's "My Heart Will Go On"?
No. So you may recall the primary started off with Bernie having a lot of steam going in. He won Iowa. He won.
Did he?
He didn't win by the delegates, but there was some shenaniganry going on there. We all know. It's not even debatable. But he won Iowa. He won the popular vote in Iowa. So we're not even going to debate.
Hello,
that.
Hillary. How are you?
Uh-huh.
How's it going? How's the woods?
He won New Hampshire. And
Barely.
he won Nevada.
Barely.
He won Nevada straight blowout. Like, Biden was close in it, and he barely made the 15% threshold.
I'm just saying barely without looking this up.
Yeah, you're saying barely without looking it up.
I know he barely won his home state. You know, a very large, significant amount of people from Vermont decided to not vote for Bernie again.
That's actually not true. He won his
really?
home state. I think he won his home state by 9 points.
He barely, yeah. And how much did he win by last time?
I think when he went up against Hillary, it was roughly the same margin.
Really, he won by plus 9.
He did
not.
I'm saying he won 9 out of the 11 delegates.
Oh, delegate. Oh, what happened to the popular vote? Wow. Which are you going to dance on?
It's a primary.
What are you going to dance on? You're going to dance on the delegate or the number of votes?
There's a difference between a caucus and a primary.
All right.
But the delegates apply regardless of what it is.
What does the home state of Vermont?
Does a primary.
There you go. And
if I'm not mistaken.
And did he lose a significant chunk of voters?
From my understanding, he did not. That's not the question.
He did.
That's not the question. The main point I'm going to make is he did not.
He did. He lost it. I'm going to look it up.
The main point that was being asked were my thoughts on it, and my thoughts on it haven't changed.
By the way, for the sake of the listener, or for the listeners, are you a donator to the Bernie Sanders campaign?
Am I a donator? Oh my gosh. I cannot donate to presidential elections, but that's a different story.
So are you saying right now you have never donated money to the Bernie Sanders campaign?
I am saying that right now.
You're saying you have not.
I am saying that right now.
Okay, so if I were to look through...
Look. You're not going to see Mr. Gerald Lord's name on the donation list, okay?
Oh, okay.
So we all know that.
So if I look through this area, I will not find a "thank you for giving me money" from Bernie Sanders letter. Certain signed copies of things by Bernie Sanders were purchased. They were not given as items.
All right, clearly you just... Listeners, please pay no mind to him. He's actually here for the later questions. I don't know why I had him on for this one.
Yeah, I'm not a certain moderator. All right, I will not be biased towards a left-leaning politician.
Okay. So it was very disappointing to see the Democrats.
By the way, all right, looking it up, Bernie Sanders got 50.57% of the vote in his home state.
Oh, I actually got it wrong. He won 11 delegates.
Look at that. 50% of people in his home state said, "Yeah, I'll vote for him." Just half.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. 2016.
He still got all 11 delegates.
Ooh, 85-50. Look at that.
Oh no, there's 16 delegates.
Look at that. He went from 85.69 to 50.
All right. My error there. You got me. He got me flustered, folks.
What else is Gerald Lord wrong about?
All right, so my mistake. Sanders got. I was right. He got. There were 11 delegates that he got.
There you go.
Biden got 5. Okay, he did better in the delegate count than Hillary did. Okay, so
look at that. Joe Biden is better than Hillary in something.
Speaks volumes to how bad of a candidate Hillary was, but we digress. So I was very disappointed to see the Democrats purposely go against the populist candidate in their primary. It was obviously not a clean primary. There were shenanigans. All the other candidates riled against.
Oh my God! A primary for a political party have shenanigans? No, sir. You're speaking pure fiction. Elections are fair in the primaries.
And all in all, I say I look forward to seeing Joe Biden lose because even everything, I'm pretty sure Joe Biden is going to lose. Unfortunately, I do believe the United States as a country is too polarized to have blowout elections like that. We haven't seen. I think the last one we saw was Reagan in the 80s, where it was just an utter.
Oh man, I wonder if there's any parallels between these two, between that election and this one, if only.
But all in all, that's all I'm going to say. I was wrong on that prediction. I had thought that Sanders would be the candidate for the Democratic Party. If you ask certain people, they would say that the Republicans are running as if he was, because Biden is by no means... he's not the picture of a progressive, but they're running anti-progressive ads against him, as though Bernie Sanders was the candidate. But that's a different story. All in all, it was very disappointing. Democrats have shot themselves in the foot again, in more ways than one, and I think it's gonna hurt them in this upcoming election. And yeah, those are my thoughts on that.
Hey, Crooklyn, what are your thoughts on Bernie Sanders losing the primary?
You know what?
Thank you for asking, Gerald.
All right. That question wasn't directed at you, but fine. Go ahead. What are your thoughts?
I don't see it saying, "Hey, Gerald," and only Gerald.
This is a rewrite of the question. The question was actually written in a way that was a lot more rude. I want to say it was more along the lines of, what's it like being wrong? But we're not going to...
Was it from Elizabeth Warren? Yeah, so Bernie Sanders losing...
Yeah, you know what? I'm going to bring that up. Elizabeth Warren was a fucking bitch in that primary.
She lost her own home state.
She lost her home state...
To Joe Biden.
And purposely stayed in it just to screw over Bernie.
Okay.
The January discussion of, he said a woman can never be president.
Maybe Bernie made her a better offer.
It was very likely Sanders was going to make Elizabeth Warren his vice presidential pick.
Oh, yeah.
They're the only
most Americans wouldn't vote for Bernie Sanders, but I'm pretty sure even less would vote for Bernie Sanders and Elizabeth Warren.
Oh, my God. Okay. Irrelevant. I'm saying Elizabeth Warren intentionally shot herself in the foot.
I'm pretty sure she just wanted more money.
She shot Sanders in the foot, too. There is no reason for Elizabeth Warren to have done that. She's deluded, and she's never going to hold high public office again. She's a snake in the grass, 100%. But go ahead.
Yeah, so Bernie Sanders got screwed. Not in the way that Gerald Lord thinks, where Tom Perez and Nancy Pelosi jerry-rigged the machines.
I didn't say that. I did not say that.
All right,
that was 2016. This one was more out in the open.
Oh yeah, of course.
That's what it was.
with Tom Perez and Nancy Pelosi and Hillary Clinton. It was just like in that skit from The Simpsons where Homer's in the booth and he presses a button and it says, 1 vote for Hillary Clinton. I voted for Bernie. Click 2 votes for Hillary Clinton.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, that's how Gerald Lord over here thinks that the thing was rigged against Bernie Sanders. Not that the Democratic whole party thing was just there. So just a dog and pony show, just to give the illusion of competition to Hillary Clinton.
He
Bernie
came
pretty
really
much got
close.
screwed because every single candidate, just coincidentally, except the ones that didn't matter, endorsed Joe Biden within a 24-hour period.
Obama made the call. It's on record that Obama called.
Because
he called Buttigieg and Klobuchar and told them to drop out.
Barack Obama, the man that took literally forever to endorse Joe Biden, was secretly in the background saying, "All right, you guys got to vote for Joe Biden."
He did call. He didn't tell him you got to vote. He told him to drop out.
It's like, hey,
he did.
Hey,
it's
Mike
well
Buttigieg, could you drop out so Joe? So Joe, hang on, Michelle, can you say his name? Joe Biden, thank you. Yeah, so he can have a chance at winning the election.
Okay. So how do I unpack that? So it's well documented Obama did make that call.
Okay.
It's been noted. I'm going to actually include a link to that. That's no problem.
Okay.
However, that's not the point I'm going to make. The point I'm going to make is
kind of like those interviews where he and Joe Biden are clearly in the same location.
I'm going to say
standing about 30 feet apart.
I'm gonna say this. Sanders did not leverage his power as well as he could have.
Oh, please.
He had. Even if you're gonna go.
I'm sorry. Did Joe Biden embrace socialism or socialist policies before or after he needed those delegates from California? Sanders played his hand to get those delegates. Or in order for Biden to get those delegates from California.
He didn't need the delegates from California.
Yeah, he did.
No, he didn't.
Bernie Sanders had to surrender them in order to Joe Biden. He was still holding on to them. He could still take them back.
Look, all I'm going to say is Sanders, even by the numbers that you're given, because let's face it, turnout was a lot lower after the virus came out, because Sanders was actually telling his supporters to stay home.
Not to Donald J. Trump.
So, Sanders,
I'm just saying, who got more votes?
If you go by the primary count, Sanders won roughly 33% of the voter base in the Democratic primary voters. So, to say that he doesn't have
He's
some
going back
authority,
to the voting instead of the delegate count.
To say that he doesn't have any power in the Democratic Party is nonsense, but he didn't leverage it as well as he could have.
Again, he had California, and he made Joe Biden embrace the the Medicare for all.
Joe Biden hasn't embraced it.
Yeah, he has.
He hasn't. No, he hasn't.
Yeah, he has. He's embraced the Green New Deal, although no longer anymore because Trump got him into a cage.
Biden's willing to sell out the left at every turn.
Oh, you mean he's a politician? Of course he's willing to sell out.
Biden is not going to enact any of the policies Bernie supposedly got him to concede to.
Of course not. Kamala Harris will.
Kamala Harris won't either. Let's face it.
Yes, she will.
Look, case in point, those are my thoughts on the primary. Unless you're going to add something else, I think this segment's good. You know, I'm 0 for 3 so far for the year.
I called Joe Biden taking the Democratic nomination.
You did. Though you called it in a much less effective way. I do recall. I don't know if we got it on recording for the show last year, but I do recall you saying Gillibrand was going to be a loser, and I thought she'd go farther. Good call on that one.
There seems to be a pattern here.
Okay. All right. Wait for the next segments. Okay. All right, so moving on from that segment, let's go with the next question submitted by a listener. Who do you think will win the general election for U.S. president?
Obviously, Bernie Sanders.
Sorry, folks. He got me on that one. So we've both actually gone at odds with this. Not in terms of who we think will win, per se, but by how much they'll win by. So, all right, shall we say who we think who's going to win?
Donald John Trump
will win re-election. Yes, we both have kind of reached that agreement. I'm a little... So there's...
Mr. Lord over here thinks it's going to be close. I think it's going to be a blowout.
Yeah. That's an understatement, given the electoral maps we have in mind here.
I mean... I'm just saying, when Mr. Lord's going to look at the map that I made him write the date on it. Because it's going to be pretty much the exact same.
Okay.
It's going to be... He's going to look at that and be like, that's impossible. How? Is he from the future? How did he know this?
Yeah. You made me keep the map, and I'm going to keep it just because when the election happen...
I wouldn't be surprised if it's actually more.
Okay. So, let's talk about the states Trump would gain in your election scenario. By the way, what's the score in electoral delegates by your map?
Well, for my pretty much my prophecy.
Yeah. Oh boy!
So far, the prophecy is 428 for Donald Trump, and Joe Biden will fraud his way into 110.
Fraud his way. Yeah. Okay. Bearing in mind that a president only needs 270 to win, this is by a...
That's all he needs, but that's not all he's going to get.
Yeah. We can tell that by the map you're proposing.
Yes.
So let's examine this map so I can see...
all right, I just want to bring up historical context. The last time that we had a blowout was when?
Reagan.
And who was he running against?
Whew.
This man right here. What's his name?
Mondale, Walter
and
Mondale.
And what's that say?
42nd vice president.
And under what
he
president?
He was the president under Jimmy Carter.
Oh, the former president. The former vice president of the man who was beaten. Huh? Is there any parallel between that?
Okay, by that logic...
Who is Joe Biden? Is he... What was it before? He was what?
He was the vice president.
The vice president
Obama.
And Barack Obama. Who succeeded Barack Obama?
Donald Trump.
Oh, okay. I mean, there's probably no, it's probably just a coincidence.
Mm-hmm.
Except, Hillary Clinton was basically the same thing. Came from the Obama administration.
Secretary of State.
Would pretty much be the third term, and Donald Trump blew her out of the water.
He did. I wouldn't call that a blowout.
I would.
It was electorally...
I'm sorry. Gerald over here is going back to the popular vote instead of the electoral votes.
No.
He's jumping across the border.
No, we're talking...
We should put a wall there. Force them to pick a side.
Look, we're talking, I believe it was 304 versus 231.
And how much is a blowout to you, sir?
Look, 304 to 231. That's not the be all end all, definitely.
So is that a blowout or not?
I wouldn't say it was. Blowout to me is 400 electoral votes or higher, which is what you got with Reagan.
Wow. So let's see. Let's do a little more.
304 to 227. That's
yes.
Right. I think it was Trump actually had
he had 77 more electoral votes.
Yeah, that's standard for most elections.
What do you mean standard?
Obama won McCain by more.
Yeah, but that's John McCain.
I'm pretty sure he beat Romney also by roughly the same margin. It's not.
Have you ever met a person who voted for Mitt Romney?
It's not.
Yeah.
It's not. Yeah. 332 to 206. That's not a blowout.
Have you ever met a person that says, yes,
look,
I voted for Mitt Romney?
What I'm trying to say is 428 to 110. That's an extreme measure
that
we haven't seen for
And again,
decades.
this is the third person. This is a third. This is going to be the third term, and it wasn't even close.
It was close.
No,
it was
wasn't.
what we're accustomed to. It's the margin we're accustomed to.
Yeah, okay.
If not, it was actually closer than the margin we're accustomed to after a while.
Not only that, we also got some rogue electors too.
Yes, we did. We
got some. So yeah, we're
on the Hillary side.
We're really accustomed to some rogue electorates. That's what we're accustomed to.
Look,
those electorates are so wild cards.
Look, if anything, you can make the argument that Hillary Clinton was that bad of a presidential candidate, which she was. Now,
she also represented Obama's third term.
I want to point out,
and again, we have historical context to show that we have a president who was basically created by Barack Obama. And is the anti-Obama, and the Americans united and said, we don't want Obama. We've had enough destruction. So we're going to vote for the other guy.
All right,
historical context is showed because we had the vice president running against a guy who the other guy beat, and we have a complete and utter domination.
Okay. Let's go through your map for a second, so we can ask the questions. We'll start with the standard swing states and why you went that way, which are not that much of a stretch. Florida's generally considered a swing state.
Yes.
That's currently Trump's home state. I could see where you're going with that. North Carolina is somewhat considered a swing state, but we're not really going to say...
It's considered, will Trump barely win it, or will he really win it?
I could see North Carolina. It's part of the Old South. That's fine. Pennsylvania, that's a bit iffy.
Trump won.
He won the last time around.
Yes.
Okay, fine. He won the last time around. Ohio, same thing.
That's right.
He won the last time around. Ohio is actually considered more safe now than last time around. Michigan, that's another one he won last time around, so that makes sense. And he even won Wisconsin last time around, if I'm not mistaken. So those, okay, I get that. You think he's gonna do a repeat. Okay, here's where I think you're just going off the rails here. You say. No, actually, this one, okay, maybe you could get away with this one too. Minnesota goes red.
Yes.
Which it hasn't in... I think that was the one state that Mondale won, actually. He still held... Mondale still held Minnesota in... I
don't think it's going to be the same exact thing.
But, yeah, Minnesota hasn't gone red for a really long time. But you're saying Minnesota's going to go red.
Well, all those fires will pretty much... All those fires right there in Minneapolis, are essentially, huge Trump ads.
So Minneapolis...
As well as the American... all those Americans buying guns. I'm pretty sure they're buying a lot of weapons. But I'm pretty sure they're also going to vote for the guy who wants to take them away.
Okay, so Minneapolis, you're thinking the thing going on in Minneapolis is going to mean Minnesota goes red.
Yes.
Okay, all right, we'll go with that logic.
Yes.
Can you explain Oregon and Washington states going red?
Now, Oregon is essentially a state being held hostage by Portland. Portland is a blue. Now, if you take a look at what's happening in Portland, it's the same thing. You got cities burning. You got all these mayors are like, oh, it's so peaceful. But then once those peaceful but fiery protesters, that once they kick over a can in the mayor's neighborhood, then the SWAT team gets called in. Mm-hmm. Kind of like with the Seattle where they had that autonomous zone. But then they started, banging... making noise in the mayor's neighborhood, and then the mayor decided to take it down.
So your logic is that the urban centers in
that are currently being held hostage, that
were strongholds for Democrats, both saw
they're going to be kind of sick and tired. It's going to be a blowback for all of these left-leaning, because if you look at the polls, why would someone, for starters, have you ever been on with a pollster before?
I mean,
this is essentially how they do it. Like this was how it was described to me for Ted Cruz versus Donald Trump.
Okay.
They were like, "Did you know that Donald Trump hates you? Did you know that Donald Trump thinks that you have the worst political opinions, and that if he could, he would take your girlfriend away from you? He also thinks that you're the dumbest person and that you're fat." Ted Cruz, however, Ted Cruz likes you.
So who you voting for?
Did you know that Ted Cruz died in Iraq saving orphans from ISIS?
Okay, all right.
That's essentially how they do.
Okay.
So, after hearing about how much of a divine person Ted Cruz is, does that make you support him more or less? Now, after hearing how Donald Trump thinks you're fat and dumb and is going to run over your dog, does that make you disapprove of him more or less?
All right. Okay, all right.
Not only that, you also have people that are literally being shot for wearing Make America Great Again hats. So I don't really think people are going to be really honest with the polls.
Okay, that's a fair thing, the quiet majority or the
silent majority.
The silent majority outright lying about who they're voting for just out of fear of being ostracized. Okay, I could see that's a really big stretch, but all right, let's turn to the other side of the map where you go. I don't know what to say on this one. Let's go with all right. New Hampshire is actually a swing state, so we'll excuse you on that one. You mind explaining?
New Hampshire and Vermont are called the Twin States for a reason.
You mind explaining?
And
Vermont?
They both want to get back at Joe Biden for screwing over Bernie Sanders. They want to get back at the Democrats.
You think? Okay, so you're thinking there's going to be blowback for Sanders? That'd actually be cool if that happens. I don't think it will. That's way too. These states seem to be way too partisan in the Northeast, but we'll go by that. Maine is an interesting one because you had the 2nd district, I think, go because they have their electoral votes split, I think.
Well, before. Maine's actually becoming more red. New England actually during the primaries was very strong for Trump.
Yeah, but
he was running unopposed, but people still came out in droves to vote for him.
Okay, right, but I still don't. Maine, maybe. Now here's where you get ridiculous in my eyes.
This is the wild card.
All right. Before we go to the wild card, actually, let's go with the really small fry. Okay. What's your explanation for Delaware? By the way, he used to be a senator in Delaware.
Here's the thing.
Joe Biden used to be a senator
Delaware used to be. He's from Delaware, and it's in play.
Why would
when your home state is in play, what does that say? Yes, it's in play. It is in play. It's in play.
I've never heard anybody say Delaware is in play.
Delaware is in play.
I do not know where you're getting your sources, but why is it in play? Can you explain the logic there?
Well, for starters, again, it's part of the Northeast, or New England, which is becoming red.
It's right next to D.C.
I also put Virginia as going for Trump. What's that right next to?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there you go.
Also, so people are saying, a bit of a stretch, but we'll
go. Oh, really? Really? You really think Mayor Blackface over there with his anti-gun draconian laws is really going to hold on to that state that almost went for Trump?
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
You know that super popular gun grabber over there. Yeah, with all of these record gun sales. You know, I bought all these guns. I'm gonna vote for the guy who's gonna take them away.
All right, folks, just keep in mind these are his predictions. Feel free.
And again, feel free
after the election to comment in the sections
about how he's
keep
saying that the Southwest is going red. The counter to that is going to be the New England going. People are saying the Southwest is going blue. The counter to that will be New England going red.
Okay. All right. So we've been dancing around it all this time. New Jersey and New York. You predict they will both go red.
Well, New York is in play.
New York is
in play, and Trump is going in on. He had a lot of New Yorkers at his acceptance. Mm-hmm. And outside of New York City, New York State is red. Now,
we know that, but New York City has the majority of the population.
Chris Cuomo, or is it de Blasio?
De Blasio.
All right, de Blasio killed people's grandmothers. He put them in nursing homes.
No, Cuomo was the one that did that. De
Whatever.
Blasio has been doing
which is him? Is he's the governor?
Chris Cuomo's the governor.
The one that isn't married to the former black lesbian. That's actually true.
De Blasio actually endorsed Sanders, which is interesting.
Okay.
We'll go on.
And who won New York? There you go. You see, now I got to bring up the civil war that's going to happen between the Sanders and the Biden people. that we're already seeing.
No, it's already been happening.
So because of people are looking at New York, or New Yorkers are looking at their city, they're seeing how their grandmother or their grandparents have been forced to go into nursing homes, and they basically were killed by the government. They're seeing how their city has completely gone to trash. New Yorkers are actually, at least the right-leaning ones, want to get out of there. They're looking at their rents going way too high.
But that's the point. If the right-leaning ones are leaving, wouldn't that just mean that the ones that are still blue stay?
I said they're trying to leave. They haven't left yet.
Okay. Go on.
Not only that, Joe Biden is very popular. You can sort of say, oh, well, they don't like Trump. It's like, yeah. But the thing is that they can not like Trump, but they also don't like Biden. So if you don't like either candidate, what are you going to do?
Not vote for either?
Exactly.
So you think there'll be enough
I think Trump likes to win, and he's not going to back a horse that's going to lose. I think he's going to go hard for New York, and I think it's going to stun everybody, and he's going to pull it off.
I mean, if he takes New York, that's a stunning achievement.
He's going in for it,
voted.
And it's a state that should not be in play, but it's in play.
Okay, and what's your logic for New Jersey, which I'm pretty sure has not seen any of this happen thus far?
Wherever New York goes, New Jersey follows.
Okay. All right. So that's Crooklyn Banks map. Once again, the score that he's predicting is 428 for Trump, 110 for Biden.
Yeah, I didn't go with Colorado because they're too busy smoking pot. And New Mexico, they're too left leaning.
Rhode Island. What's your logic there? You said Rhode Island was going to go red.
Again, see New England turning red.
Okay, let me give you my prediction, viewers, because I know we're gonna want some level-headedness on this.
This coming from the guy who keeps getting stuff wrong.
I have not kept getting stuff wrong. I want to clarify that.
Okay.
My most recent prediction did not.
So why does Biden take back Pennsylvania?
Okay. So. You're jumping around here. Okay.
I'm predicting right into it.
I'm predicting that we see a very similar electoral map, with the only shift really being Maine's all 4 of their districts go blue, and the only thing Joe Biden's able to pull off of him, Trump, in terms of anything is Pennsylvania, because
Wisconsin.
Keeps. Oh, and Wisconsin, yes.
So Biden does better than Hillary.
Biden does better than Hillary, yes. I'm leaning into the theory that Hillary was a uniquely terrible candidate.
And Joe Biden is better. The guy who can barely talk, has Alzheimer's.
Joe Biden performed better than Hillary in the primary against Bernie Sanders. And
whoa, we have this recorded, folks. This is a public statement that he just said.
He performed better overall because Sanders dropped out earlier. Let me clarify.
Oh, he dropped out earlier.
Sanders dropped out earlier. True.
The guy was the last one to drop out, but he dropped out earlier.
He did drop out earlier. He didn't wait until June. He dropped out, I believe it was in late to mid-April. So that was actually important. So it allowed a lot of Democrats who were still holding hostility over the primary to more likely fall in line later on. You've also got the left being galvanized because of the Supreme Court justice seat being up for grabs.
Oh, really? That's the one thing that's galvanizing them?
You've also got the fact that Biden specifically talks about being from the Midwest and all this stuff. He's been hyping up Scranton, Pennsylvania for the most ridiculous amount of time.
How many takes did he take it to get that city right?
I can see Biden getting the edge in Pennsylvania and maybe in Wisconsin only because
voter fraud.
Only because Wisconsin came the closest out of all 4 states of the Rust Belt that Trump won the last time around, and it was by such a small hair. And you've got the fact that Wisconsin is right next to Minnesota. Klobuchar went for Biden pretty early.
Because it got him.
It got him Minnesota. I could see it getting him Wisconsin. I don't think it'll get him Michigan, and I don't think it'll get him Ohio. The tariffs that Trump's been doing on trade have, to some degree, brought back American manufacturing before COVID.
Some degree.
Okay, fine. They brought back... It didn't bring back all jobs. We have to be honest about that.
Oh, I'm sorry.
But the Midwest...
I'm sorry. Donald Trump just brought jobs that the previous president said were gone forever. He brought them back.
Okay. All right. That's why I think he'll win Michigan and Ohio again. But I don't think he'll hold on to Pennsylvania and Wisconsin. Those two states,
voter fraud.
Those two states were the closest last time around.
And why did he lose them?
He would. Trump's going to lose them.
Other than voter fraud,
he's gonna. I just think Trump. It's important to say to some degree that Trump doesn't have the outsider appeal that he does when he first started. He doesn't have the same... You can't call yourself an outsider when you've been president for 4 years.
Hang on.
Granted...
If we replace Trump with Bernie Sanders and replace election with primary, I think this can all just go along with the same path. Mm-hmm. Now go on.
All I'm saying is, Trump wins. He doesn't win by much. He wins it by...
So who's going to vote for Joe Biden? The people that are burning down their own cities? Because they're not going to vote for Joe Biden.
You know what? You want to say that, but South Carolina's older black voters went for Joe Biden by large margins.
Donald Trump has
in the primary
has 15 to 20% of the black vote.
People have shown that they will vote against their own interests only because they fall in line with
the hype. Those people aren't going to vote.
Fall in line with the hype behind Biden.
Those people aren't going to vote.
All I'm saying is Biden can probably win back Pennsylvania and Wisconsin, but not get enough to win the election. Donald Trump, scoreboard's going to read 275 Trump, 263 Biden. Biden will have lost by 12 electoral votes.
Do you want to apologize for being wrong now or later?
I'm not going to be... It doesn't matter.
Wait. Say that into the mic. You're not going to be what? You're not going to be what?
I'm not going to be wrong.
You about Trump winning. You heard
Trump winning.
You heard
I'm not going to be wrong about Trump winning.
Don't you dare backtrack. I'm going to edit this episode just to cut it off when he says about Trump winning. You said 275. You said he's going to lose
275,
ground.
263. 275,
he's going to lose ground.
Trump loses ground, but he keeps his outsider appeal enough to hold on to Michigan and Ohio. He loses Wisconsin and Pennsylvania. Same electoral map as before. Those are the only two states that change. That's my final prediction.
Again, those people that are burning down their cities, claiming to be, for whatever cause, those people are not going to vote for Biden. If you look closely, it's a civil war going on in the Democratic Party. And after they lose, Nancy Pelosi and the rest of the people who run the party, they're going to kick out the Bernie Sanders and the Alexandria Cortezes and the Ilhan Omars. Because they're going to be scapegoated and they're going to be blamed. And then those people are going to form their own party. That's what we're seeing. We're seeing the silent split of the Democratic Party. Okay. And that's why Trump is going to completely demolish this election.
There's a lot that can be said there, but I do think that it's becoming apparent that the Democrats will fight amongst themselves if they lose to Trump, because you have to reassess the situation after you lose. And
they won't. They should have done it in 2016.
They should have done it in 2016. They didn't, the progressive wing needs a better leader. Bernie did not have the spine to really go for the jugular in the primary. But that's enough on that. Trump is predicted to win on this show by both the person who...
After they get half of the states in, they're going to be playing that clip from The Simpsons saying, "Stop, please, he's already dead." Both in terms of the electoral map, and Joe Biden may actually be dead.
Look, however it plays out, let's not forget, Trump actually recently got the coronavirus.
And he's gonna kick out. He's gonna beat it.
If he beats it, it'll be if he beats it, it'll be a bump.
If.
Okay. When he beats it, it'll be a bump in the polls. It'll be a bump in the polls.
You already had a bump from the debate.
So all I'm saying is, we both say Trump's going to win. We just disagree on the margin. So it'll be interesting to see who's right when the election comes around.
It's going to be me.
So regardless, can I get? Let's do this. Regardless of the results, will you be back post-election show?
I will.
In December.
I will.
Okay.
Assuming, of course, they're still not counting those ballots.
All right, folks.
I wouldn't be surprised if Gerald over here is joining the Biden campaign just so he can get those states right.
Okay.
He's going to be joining remotely, saying, "So, Gerald, what do you think?" And be like, "I don't know, Crooklyn. I found there's a lot of ballots over here in Pennsylvania that are voting for Biden."
All right, so those are our predictions, folks. Leave your own in the comment section. I look forward to reading them. And
feel free to point and laugh at Gerald's predictions. I know I will.
Okay, all right. Stay tuned for the next segment. We'll be back after a short hiatus. Okay, so let's do the next question. After that one, I can only imagine what this map's going to look like. So question. How do you think the U.S. Senate races will go for the 2020 election? Crook, do you want to do your map first, or should I just jump to the reasonable map that I made?
Yeah, again. All right, this is all on camera, or this is all on recording. So when in December when we do all this, and you're just gonna be out there like, oh well, the polls and all this, and I'm just gonna be here, with my vest and sunglasses and shotgun protecting John Connor from robots.
Okay, all right. So despite that rambling, I think I will go first.
All
right. So I'm predicting a slight Republican majority remains in the Senate.
So Trump wins the White House, but they lose Senate seats.
51-49 is my prediction.
They're currently 53 to 45.
It's currently 53
with two independents.
2 independents, yes, 50. So technically it's 53 to 47, but we'll go with that. Look, I'm predicting 51-49. You're gonna have Democrats having Oregon, Colorado, New Mexico, Minnesota, Illinois, Michigan.
Why don't you just go with the ones that they take?
I actually don't know the ones that they take.
Wow.
So they'll be taking...
So they take Colorado.
They take Colorado. And Maine.
And Alabama. And, Maine.
Maine.
Okay.
And, I think they gain one more because they lose Alabama.
Well, how about we just go through it by state? Who do you think wins Alabama?
Doug Jones is not holding on to that. The last time he won was only because it was a special election, and he was going up against someone who might have been a pedophile.
Who had some sexual allegations that mysteriously disappeared after the election. So weird how that happens, right? Isn't that weird?
Uh-huh.
So weird. So anyways, Doug Jones kind of has a smile on his face like, really? I won? And he's running against Tommy Tuberville, who's kind of looking at the face like, all right, buddy. Yeah, the joke is over. The joke's over.
This joke's over.
All right, this is Alabama. You Democrats with your anti-American ways can get out of our state.
Look, Doug Jones won the primary barely, despite, I believe he was going up against Roy Moore.
Yes.
He went up against Roy Moore.
Judge Roy Moore.
Look, Roy Moore had the whole... He was going up against really negative press. And even then, it was a close race. It seems pretty apparent Doug Jones is not going to regain that seat. So Alabama's going to go red In terms of the states they're gonna win back.
All right, so Alaska, the Democrats aren't even running. The guy Al Gross doesn't even have a picture, so who cares? Not saying who cares about saying. I'm saying who cares about that election because the Republicans are going to win. Let's go to Arizona, where we have Martha McSally, a former fighter pilot, versus Mark Kelly, an astronaut who's famous for not going to space.
Look, Arizona, I think...
By the way, we're saying this before the Project Veritas leaks about Mark Kelly.
What?
Yeah. Oh, wow, the guy who follows politics doesn't follow politics.
Oh.
Alright, so Mark Kelly is... Here's the thing about Mark Kelly. He's a gun grabber running in a very, very, very pro-gun state. Now, you're probably wondering how this guy has a chance. Well, Martha McSally is afraid to attack him because Mark Kelly's wife was a gun victim. Like, she was shot. Now, of course...
I didn't know that.
Now, of course, she was shot by a leftist, and her life was saved by two right-wing guys with guns. But as soon as she was able to talk, they put her in front of a camera, and it basically had her do the whole, I was a victim of a shooting, therefore I'm an expert in shootings. That always happens.
Uh-huh. Okay.
So that's essentially, not only that, you also have a lot of California money being thrown into the race. You have a lot of California refugees also moving into Arizona because they apparently thought,
wait,
man.
But we both agree Arizona's going to go
down. I know that. I'm saying that because even though Martha McSally has a huge flaw, which is that she's a woman.
Whoa! Listeners, he doesn't speak for me. I'm just saying that outright.
I speak the truth. Anyway, even though she's a fighter pilot and she's used to fighting, she's afraid to attack Mark Kelly because he'll bring out his wife. But the Project Veritas leaks will come out, talk about voter fraud and how Mark Kelly is bought and paid for by China.
All right, so we both agree Arizona goes red.
Yes.
Alaska stays red also. We both agreed on that.
Arkansas, the Democrats aren't running, but the Libertarians are, and you can't spell Libertarian without loser. So the Republicans take Arkansas.
Okay. Loser. Okay.
All right, Colorado is an interesting one. I originally said red because the guy that's running is John Hickenlooper.
Yeah, Hickenlooper's he's a former governor. He's a former governor, so he's not a loser.
He's so much of a loser. You can actually, if you look at his name at a quick glance, it actually looks like loser. I mean, L-O, beginning, ends in E-R. You fill in the blanks.
Uh-huh. Hicken loser. Okay.
Yeah. Hey, look at that.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty catchy.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Corey Gardner, by all means, you can use that. But Colorado, ever since they legalized marijuana, has gone super blue. They elected their governor's gay.
Well, the reason
their governor actually had a business shut down because they violated COVID violations by opening on Mother's Day, and someone snitched on them and took a picture of people having a wonderful time, and the governor was like, "No one is allowed to have fun in Colorado unless you're smoking weed." No one is allowed to have fun. We must shut down that business and fine them.
Okay, so
they're gonna go blue.
So I wanted to point out Hickenlooper actually was anti-legalization of marijuana. But unfortunately, I do think Colorado will still go.
Yeah, the voters don't care.
Yeah, they don't care anymore.
You heard about that?
Now that it is legalized, I don't think.
You heard about that guy? I forget what state it is, but he ran as a Republican, but he's a transsexual Satanist, and his slogan
was in the Northeast.
Yeah,
I know it was in the Northeast.
And he basically won the Republican nomination.
He ran in.
I think like his slogan was like "Hail Satan" or something. I think
it was Connecticut or Rhode Island, and he ran for not sheriff, but something with law enforcement, and it was, definitely just voting for the person with the R behind their name,
and that's what people in Colorado will do.
Okay, just on the reverse side. Okay,
So the Delaware race, So it's Lauren, whatever. She doesn't even have a picture. Chris over here kind of has his face like,
well, we both agreed Delaware was going to go blue.
So Delaware goes blue. Georgia goes red.
On both the special and the non-special.
Idaho, we have Jim Ritz versus Paulette Jordan. Now, of course, Joe Lord's going to say she looks cute, so he might vote for her.
Actually, I'm not going to say that because I don't think
You're going to say he looks cute?
I'm not going to say that either. Idaho, when I think Idaho, I think a red state. I think
she's
Idaho's,
only 40.
Idaho goes red. We both agreed on that. Montana, we said was going to go red. If I'm not mistaken, that's John Forte. No, it's not.
It's Steve Daines versus Steve Bullock. Two Steves.
Didn't Steve Bullock run for president? This time around? Yeah, he did.
He's a former governor.
He's a former governor.
And attorney general.
Yeah.
Ooh, law candidate. Not really popular right now.
I don't think he'll win in Montana.
He's currently the governor because he lives in the governor's residence.
Which one do you want to do? Oregon?
Did I say? I said they were going to retain Oregon. Yeah, because let's see her.
Jeff Merkley versus Joe Ray Perkins.
Yeah. Really? You think you think Joe Ray Perkins is better than the 40-year-old? This woman's 64 years old.
I don't know what it is about that photo.
Yeah, it was taken 6 years ago when she was in her 50s. So apparently she is a vocal supporter of QAnon, of those 2020 candidates who...
she's not winning.
Wait. Oregon's a pretty crazy state.
We both said it was going to go blue.
Yeah,
Stop.
I was just looking at it. You see, I was in a groove of just picking red states. I wanted to just go along based off looking at the people's pictures and seeing who...
Jeff Merkley. Yes, you really think...
That's it. He's the incumbent.
He's the incumbent. He assumed office, and he looks like a serious candidate.
Let me see.
Oh gosh, we're looking at the personal life section. Oh my god.
Oh yeah. Because the one thing that about the American public is when they make a decision, it's based off of the voting records of these people. Triathlons. He works out a lot. Okay, so he's pretty boring. He's a pretty boring person versus... You know what? I'm switching. I'm going to say Oregon goes red.
That's... Oh my gosh. Okay, one moment. Let me just...
I'm just throwing it out there because you know what? Here's the thing.
Okay,
here's the thing. They're painting her to be a conspiracy theorist, and they only do that for people that are a threat. That's the thing. Because you're not afraid of the crazy homeless guy down the street. But here's the thing. If that crazy homeless guy is getting constantly harassed by the police telling him to shut up, then you're going to be like, hey, this guy's on to something. But if you just see some guy out there saying, the Martians are going to invade, but then you see a bunch of army people saying, hey, you better shut up about the Martians, then he gets credibility. Okay. So they're going after this woman. They already have a photo that makes her look crazy, and this other guy is like, I work out and do triathlons.
Look, all right. So I'm going to say this right now.
Remember, Portland holds Oregon hostage.
All right. Let's really look at. We got 35.
This woman has red hair versus the guy who's just a normal Oregon guy. This is a crazy election. I'm going with crazy results. Oregon's gonna go red.
Yeah, I'll say that based on these predictions. Look, we have 35 elections going on. A lot of Republican seats are up for election this time around. But all in all, 35 seats up for grabs. I predicted a 21-14 split in favor of Republicans. Crooklyn, why don't you say it? What's your prediction for how the 35 seats are going to go?
I think they're going to...
You said... you
predicted...
Originally
I said 4, but that, again, my original plan was just to look at the photos.
Yeah.
Look at that. Her entire... political positions. Identifies as pro-life, support... We're talking about the woman from Oregon that they're going after.
Mm-hmm. Joe Ray Perkins.
Perkins opposed the use of masks against COVID-19. She's done... Look at this. She opposed to George... Oh, okay. That last part... Actually, you know what? You know what? Yeah, because seeing how much of a disaster they've been from the Democrats, I think she can do it.
She opposed the George Floyd protest. You cut yourself off there, but yeah.
I had to think about it for a minute. Then I realized, no, there's not that many black people in Oregon. It's a lot of hipsters, and those hipsters aren't going to vote. I got this lady. This lady.
All right. Okay. All right. So you're predicting.
She supports replacing federal income taxes with federal consumption taxes. Privatization, Medicare, and Social Security? My God.
Okay, so listeners, we're predicting.
Why can't we clone this woman and have her run for every state? I mean, granted, I would prefer it to be, not her physically, but just have, all
the ideology. Oh yes. Wow. Okay. You're literally predicting budget. 28
federal term limits for the House and Senate. Oh my God.
You're predicting 28 seats will be won by the Republicans, and only 7 seats will be won by the Democrats.
Yes. You have zero idea how unpopular the Democrats are right now.
This is the level of that's ridiculous.
You want to throw out a reason why?
You were predicting a majority in the Senate for Republicans.
I'm saying the Republicans, just like in 2016, will control the House, the Senate, and the White House.
We're not even talking about the House. The Supreme Court. That's a mess already.
And the Supreme Court.
But do you know how much of a big majority that is?
What,
50? Let me repeat that. 58 to 42.
Yes.
58 to 42.
Yeah, probably.
I want you to listen to that number.
Oh my God.
And think to yourself, maybe that's a little much.
I'm pretty sure if we went back to 2015 and I said Donald Trump would win, you'd be like, the guy who was on a reality TV show is going to beat Ted Cruz, an experienced senator who the Republicans love.
No,
This is the guy that you're talking about. Yeah, here we are.
I didn't say
You're going to tell me a virus with a 99% survival rate is going to cause the entire world to destroy its economy. That's what you're saying.
All right, look. In the breakdown,
you're saying the Miami Marlins with a negative 41 run differential are going to make the playoffs.
Look, we disagree on. Let me get this straight. We disagree on in terms of what seats will be.
Again, this is just a short version of.
Wyoming's
definitely red.
You think that Wyoming's definitely red. We don't.
2 women in West Virginia. So sorry, West Virginia. See now Virginia. Look at that. You got Army guy versus generic Mark Warner. That sounds made up. Let's hear Daniel Gade. Daniel MacArthur. Look at that.
Oh my God.
MacArthur, former Army. Married to Wendy Williams.
All right, maybe you got a
point. Not the actual host. There's 3 kids. Lieutenant Colonel in the United States Army. Lieutenant Colonel.
Okay, fine. So you think Virginia? I might be wrong about Virginia. I said Virginia was going to go blue. I still think it's going to go blue.
He became the world champion in the category of the 2010 Ironman in Clearwater, Florida. Look at that.
Okay, all right.
He's not going to be. He's can probably beat that guy up in Oregon in running.
Look. All in all, I just think it's too much. It's too much for the Republicans to win by that much. You're predicting a blowout on every level, and
I already said it's going to be a blowout in the. You really think people are going to be all right? I'm voting for Trump to win the presidency, but I'm not. You know what? I'm not. I support the Republicans in the White House, but I'm not going to support them in the Senate. Again, unless it's voter fraud.
I like you keep throwing in that caveat. So if I want to point this out, if your picks don't come true, are you really going to accuse it of being voter fraud?
It depends. If it's the person from Oregon won by 1 million votes, I'll be like, yeah, voter fraud.
Okay.
Because that's how it's going to be. It's going to be so evidently clear that it's fake. to the point where it doesn't even matter.
All right. So
all in all, red-headed woman that Gerald Lord thinks was cute 6 years ago got 2 votes versus Boring McBorenson got 3 billion votes.
Look,
okay, right. that's going to be kind of suspicious. But as long as you're right, you're going to accept it.
No, I am not. That is not true. We
have it recorded.
On another point of view, we will point out when we think something is suspicious.
Okay.
Because that's what
I find it very suspicious.
If that's our point of view,
I find it very suspicious if Joe Biden gets 1 vote. I think
he can vote for himself, right?
Yeah, but I think he's going to forget. I think he's going to say, like, "Where's Barack?"
Okay. All right. All in all,
corn pop.
All in all, the end,
I'm going to vote by mail.
The end number is Crook and Banks predicts a 58-42 Senate. I predict a 51-49 Senate. We'll see who's closer to the actual reality.
I didn't get to see any of the pictures of the other candidates, so
I'll include while we're talking the pictures of each of our predictions, so they know the breakdown for each state.
Yeah,
that's no problem.
And
the
pictures
of people we talked about.
And
sure.
If the woman from Oregon is in a bikini, you know that's from Gerald. Granted, it's going to probably be from 40 years ago. So again,
hey,
that's from Gerald.
I'm just saying, you know.
But the 40-year-old woman from I forget what state. No.
All right.
I was going to say Dr. Freud, but then I realized, well, then again, she is from Oregon, so maybe she does have one.
Look.
That's a highbrow joke for you guys out there.
That's a highbrow joke. Okay. All right, so
Sigmund Freud was really into,
phallic symbolism.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, I get what you were going for. But yeah, tell us your predictions for how the Senate races will go. What do you think the breakdown is going to be once the smoke clears?
Not from the cities from Black Lives Matter and Antifa.
Yeah, it's just a metaphorical smoke.
Or California.
Okay.
Those forest fires.
Forest fires, yeah.
Kind of funny how those only happen in California, right? California and Oregon. Canada has those controlled burns, but global warming only seems to affect states with bad land management policies. Isn't that funny?
Yeah.
It's kind of funny.
I think Trump's brought that up too.
Yeah. Kind of like how they said Florida was going to be underwater.
I think he specifically said...
don't you remember that movie?
Inconvenient Truth?
Yeah, that everyone kept saying Florida 20 years or right now was going to be underwater.
Yeah.
It's kind of funny. They had Al Gore, then Arnold Schwarzenegger tried to have one too, where he was like, global warming is the biggest threat ever. That's a terrible impersonation, but then again, he's an old actor who can only do Terminator films. But the Terminator film bombed, so maybe he's done.
Look,
they are doing another Conan thing on Amazon, Netflix.
Okay. All right. So that's the breakdown. I'm predicting a slim majority.
I'm sorry.
Cook is predicting a pretty much super majority at this point, but
because that's totally unreasonable.
We'll see how it plays out.
Your foster parents are dead.
All right, listeners, take care and enjoy this musical tune to play us out.